The world is making the Mekong its dump. Mounting marine pollution is choking the world's oceans and rivers, especially in Southeast Asia, and it'll only get worse unless something changes. Countries along the Mekong River have become the world's dumping ground for waste. Rubbish is finding its way into the water, killing marine animals and clogging up animals with plastic that are later eaten by humans. COVID-19 has caused plastic waste to surge in Southeast Asia, particularly with the widespread disposal of single-use face masks, takeaway food containers, and packaging. In April 2020, Bangkok's daily average of 2,115 tons of single-use plastics waste per day grew to more than 3,400 tons a day. Even before pandemic-driven waste, only 9% of all plastic packaging was recycled and about 12% is incinerated. The remaining 79% accumulates in landfills, dumps and the natural environment. A lot of this waste, particularly plastic, finds its way into our oceans. As much as 13 million tons of plastic enters our oceans annually, according to a 2018 study by UN Environment. Marine plastic pollution is a major transboundary problem, costing an estimated $2.5 trillion United States dollars per year. Some 267 species of marine animals, such as turtles, whales, fish and seabirds, have been adversely impacted by plastic debris through entanglement or ingestion, although this number will invariably increase as smaller species are studied. Humans are also swallowing plastic when eating these animals, which contributes to health risks such as cancer and infertility. This debris is creating huge ocean patches and plastics are also washing onto shores. Around 80% of the waste is land-based and will have made its way to the ocean through rivers and other waterways. By 2050, plastic will outweigh fish in the oceans if current trends persist according to calculations. Three of the worst 6 plastic polluting countries, China, Thailand, and Vietnam, have a presence in Mekong, and many Southeast Asian countries have become dumping grounds of the world's plastic waste. Waste across Southeast Asia is causing contaminated water, failed crops, and respiratory illnesses. Fish are ingesting plastic. Dead whales are turning up in Thailand and Indonesia with many kilograms of plastics in their stomachs. The region's transboundary governance of marine plastic pollution is not working. Asia takes on 75% of globally exported waste, often from wealthy countries without the processing capacity to do so domestically. For instance, the United Kingdom exports about 70% of its plastic. Since July 2017, when China began to ban imports of plastic waste, Southeast Asia has become a dumping ground for wealthier countries' waste. After China's ban, the amount of plastic waste imported to countries like the Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia more than doubled. As foreign waste built up and resentment grew among local populations, Southeast Asian governments started refusing to serve as the world's dump site. Malaysia and the Philippines have already returned waste that had improper labeling to Spain and South Korea, respectively, and Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam have also restricted plastic waste imports, with a complete ban planned in the coming years. Single-use plastic consumption is still high in these countries. Comprehensive bans or taxes, such as on single-use bags, are few to non-existent. Voluntary measures have often been promoted, but are still showing limited effectiveness. Recycling rates throughout the world, but especially in Southeast Asia, remain low. In many places, there is no separation of household waste. Littering remains pervasive. Many Southeast Asian dump sites are unprepared to deal with the burgeoning volumes of plastic waste. Of Thailand's 27.8 million tons of plastic waste in 2018, at least 27% was improperly disposed of, including via open dumping. Much of this plastic ends up in waterways, then flows into oceans. More than half of Indonesia's landfills are open dump sites. Waste is piled improperly, increasing the risk of floods, fires, and trash avalanches. This has led to deaths in the Philippines, Indonesia, and India. Some waste is also illegally incinerated, releasing toxic gases that harm human health. Overall, Thailand produced 2 million tons of plastic waste in 2018, but only 1/4 was recycled, mostly plastic bottles. Many of these recycling firms which processed the waste were discharging untreated wastewater to save money. This plastic waste processing has contributed to worsening wastewater in the past few years. Disease outbreaks caused by wastewater intrusions have added another element of precarity to their livelihoods. If Southeast Asian countries no longer accept waste from high-income countries, where will the waste go? Only 9% of plastic waste worldwide is recycled. Western countries have few easy solutions to deal with plastic waste. At the regional level, bodies such as ASEAN have an instrumental role to play in supporting civil society, plastic producers, retail businesses and governments across the region. With its non-interventionist political culture, ASEAN's emphasis on protecting regional common goods through sustainable development strategies is appealing to member countries as it emphasizes collective economic, health and social rewards. In 2019, ASEAN's environment ministers took a positive first step to laying the groundwork for such transboundary cooperation by approving in principle the Bangkok Declaration. Considerable work remains to translate the framework into policies, but a region-wide consensus about the shared threat posed by marine plastic pollution is a good starting point. Environment for change. Let's change our environment.